Gracious God, creator of the universe, and yet the lover of my soul. Alpha and Omega, and yet I can call you friend. I don't have to beg you for anything, but I can thank you for everything. God, I thank you because this is the day that you have made, and I can rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for this day of magnificence and glory and splendor. God, I thank you for life, health, and for strength. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for peace, love, and joy. I thank you for the essence of you that envelops me right now, from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. We thank you for this day of manifestation. We thank you for the day of revelation. We thank you for the day of impartation. We thank you as you move in the midst of your people to bring us to the greatest times that we've ever seen since the foundation of the world. Thank you, Lord, that for this time and for this season, you've allowed us to be a part of your move in the face of the earth. I thank you, God, for the revolution that you're bringing forth, God, even in the midst of the earth right now. And I thank you for the opportunity to be a part of what you're doing in this hour, because in the last days, saith God, you said you would pour out your spirit on all flesh. And so now we thank you for the pouring out. God, I thank you for the rain and the move of your spirit. I thank you for fresh oil. I thank you for new wine. I thank you for the new thing that you're doing. I thank you now that it does spring forth. I thank you, Lord, that you've called us to be the head and not the tail. You've called us to be above only and not beneath. You've called us to be the lender and not the borrower. You've called, God, that our storehouses would be full and increase. God, I thank you because even I decree and declare that the people under the sound of my voice, even now, are moving in the might of your strength. Not by might nor by power, but by your spirit. I thank you for those that are the sons and daughters of God that are called because they walk not after the flesh, but after your spirit. I thank you for the rising up of the people of your kingdom. I thank you that your kingdom come. I thank you that your will be done, even now in earth as it is in heaven. I thank you, Lord, because you are moving in the midst of your people mightily as never before. Raise us up, oh God, to the standard of what you've called us to be. God, I thank you for the standard of greatness. I thank you for the standard of holiness. I thank you for the standard of moving as the sons and daughters of yours, and not as vagabonds, not as those that never knew you, not as those that are confused and confounded, but God, those that know who they are in you. I thank you for the knowing. I thank you, God, for knowing you. I thank you for knowing your presence. Thank you for knowing your Holy Ghost power that gives us the ability to be successful. Your anointing that gives us the power to rise up and be called blessed. Thank you for that is in us. Thank you, God, for all things that pertain to life and godliness. Thank you because we are not confused. We are not deceived. And we thank you for that clarity of mind and the clarity of vision that allows us to walk forth as kings and queens, as princes and princesses in the kingdom that walk in the earth. We thank you that we are your beloved, and we rise up as the apple of your eye. We rise up, oh God, as those that you love with all of your heart. And God, we love you back. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for soundness of spirit. I thank you that healing is our bread. Healing is our deliverance. By the stripes of Jesus, we're already healed. And we speak forth that healing even now for those that need it. Thank you, God, for every stripe that was taken. Thank you for the bruising. Thank you that he was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. God, with those same stripes we declare and we speak healing in Jesus' name. We give you glory. We give you peace. We give you honor. We give you blessing. We give you might. We ascribe all of these things unto you because they are yours. Thank you. The fruit of my lips giving thanks unto your name. Ever giving you all that is yours. Glory, honor, power, dominion, majesty, It's yours. I decree it and I speak it. In the mighty name of Jesus, it is so. Amen and amen.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to welcome you to today's edition of Yes You O Cube. What does O Cube stand for? One-on-one, because it's just me and you. I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and I'm so glad that you thought it well to join me on today. Yes, it is Tuesday. Let me get my days right. You know, when you have the holidays in there, everything just gets off. It's Tuesday, November the 29th in the year 2020. And I don't know about you, but I'm just happy to be here. It's been a marvelous, marvelous, marvelous few days. I've missed you all for sure. I have definitely missed you, but it's good to see you here in the midst on today. Now, what we want to do is go ahead and get started and get back into the groove, because I'm telling you, I'm going to follow the pattern a little bit today lest I get all the way off. Because listen, it's something else when you're trying to get back on track after you've had so many days of time away. But one thing I will say, every moment was absolutely marvelous cheering. It was marvelous, but it is good to be back. Now, that being said, let's go ahead and get this party started and get it crack-a-lacking. You know how we start out. We like to see who came in the VIP section this morning, who came in bringing all the love, the joy, the peace, soul, and the happiness into the Lion's Den. So let's get started with that, shall we? The third person in the Lion's Den this morning was none other than Sassy Cassie, otherwise known as Cassandra Isaiah. Come on in here, sis. You did that. Thank you for coming in the Lion's Den this morning, and it's good to see you. Let me get on my studio. Doesn't want listen. Some stuff shut off. You got to come on. There she is, Sassy Cassie, Cassandra Isaiah. Once more and again. Thank you, sis. You came in bringing the love, the joy, the peace, soul, and the happiness into the Lion's Den, and we appreciate you on this morning. Now, the second person to come into the Lion's Den this morning, y'all, was none other than T. Summers. T. Summers, you did that. Thank you for coming in the Lion's Den. Come on in here, sis. Now, you and Cassandra, y'all gonna share that love seat right over there. So tell her she might have to scooch over just a little bit, because I gotta get both of my sisters on that love seat so you all can enjoy the rest of the stream with us. But the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair is none other than Truck driver, you did that. Get your lips, your hips, and your fingertips, and go ahead and sit down right over there. Now let me catch up here. Come on. Yes. I'm like Uncle Joe. I'm moving kind of slow this morning, but that's okay. We're here. We are here, and there's my truck driver. Come on. There's my truck driver. I wasn't going to be defeated, truck. I wasn't going to be defeated. I was thinking I had to get your face into place this morning. Yes, I did. That's my Mufasa. That's my Lion King, y'all. Yes, that's my brother from another mother. I love me some him. Congratulations to you, Truck, and thank you for coming in and bringing all the love, joy, peace, soul, and happiness into the Lion's Den. And, let me just go ahead and say this, because he came in, he's been on one. He said, good morning to my beautiful, beautiful family. To God be the glory for all the works he has done on today. Let us do something to make someone smile, and always let's pray pray one for another. Come on in here, Truck. You said it. That's the way we roll in the Lion's Den. Absolutely. That's the way we roll in the Lion's Den. I love it. I love it. And I love it that you all come in speaking so much wholesome and healthy and happiness words into the stream. I really do appreciate y'all. I really, really do. Now, you know where we go from here. I love my mods. Absolutely adore my mods. They are the absolute best. Come on with that mod love. Come on with that mod love. We're going to start with Shelly Thunder. That's my girl, y'all. That's my girl. She comes in up above my head. I hear thunder in the air. I see that mod love Stacy 546. Yes, there must be a Shelly Thunder somewhere. That's my girl right there. I call her the prophetess because she comes in, she brings scripture, she brings the word, she brings prayer, she brings energy, she brings love, but she also brings Block a Hole Ministry. So much love to her, and I see that mod love Rebel Inc. Thank you so much. And I'm moving right on to the leader of the pack. None other than the Rebel Inc. Yes, y'all, that's my girl right there. I see that mod love, Cassandra Woke. I'm looking and I'm checking out this sister right here. Yes, the Rebel Inc. She is a streamer. She will bless your whole entire everything. I mean everything. She gonna bless it all. She gonna bless it all. I love her. If you are not following the Rebel Inc., quit your wicked ways. Yes, quit your wicked ways, because I'm telling you, this sister right here, she is the real deal and the true business. I appreciate you for all that you do, and thank you for modding in the Lion's Den. Then, of course, we have the beautiful, the vivacious, the bold, and the beautiful. All of that rolled up into one. Talking about none other than my quiet storm. Yes, my quiet storm, Michelle Browno. Listen, she changes the atmosphere just by being in it. She is the third part of my blessed trinity. These three beautiful ladies take care of me. Come on, Tall Pumps. I see that. I see that, mod love. I appreciate these three ladies because they take such good care of the Lion's Den. I'm telling you, I just love me some them. Thank you for the mod love. And listen, we appreciate them for all that they do here in the Lion's Den. Now, you know how we go. Get your coffee cup out. Get your coffee cup out. Because I want to come around, as my mother said, when you walk into the room, speak to somebody. So I just want to speak to y'all this morning. Can I do that real quick to everybody that's in my chat? And to those of you that may not be in my chat this morning, but you're here holding space, I just want you to know I appreciate you. Thank you so much for all that you do, and thank you for being here. Now, there we go. I want to say the Rebel Inc. I see you. Good morning. The Gift, Nathan Lamont. Come on and give me one good squall. I see you. Good morning. Coming on down, and I'm looking and I'm seeing that I've got Tall Pumps. Who's pumping tall in the room? Good morning to you, sis. Now, let me tell you, she is the moderator over in Woman Unsilenced channel. I want y'all to go out there and support my sisters. They're doing a marvelous job over there. And Tall Pumps, nothing but mad love to you, sis. Come on in here. Stacy 546, that's my sister right there. So much love to you, sis, and thank you for being in the Lion's Den this morning. It's good to have you. We miss you when you're gone, but I know that you're out there handling your business and handling the business that a caretaker has to handle. Appreciate you for all that you do. Mad love to you. Coming on down, and I'm looking and I'm booking and fairly all day, my dearest friend. Yes, she's here, and I appreciate you, sis. So much mad love coming to you. Listen, you ain't nobody like Fairly all day. Listen, she's like God. There's none like her in all the earth. I appreciate you, and good morning to you. She is a moderator for Dr. Daddy Priest. Yes, engagement matters. That's who that sister right there. I love me some her as well. If you're not following Dr. Daddy Priest, quit your ways, because she's going to bless your whole entire life. So much love to you, Fairly all day. I see Michelle Browno is up and early, bright, coming on in the early morning hours out here rolling and doing her thing. Good morning to you, Michelle. It's good to see you, my quiet storm. Nothing but love to you. Coming on down, and my brother downtown Melvin Brown. That's my Kansas City shouting partner. We believe in picking them up and putting them down. You better ask somebody. All we need is just a good move of God, and the saints are going in. Melvin, it's good to see you this morning. Thank you for my LinkedIn connection. You just are so faithful to come in. I love you. I love you. I love you. Coming on down, and I'm looking and I see Simply Amazing is in the room because she's just simply amazing, y'all. Good morning to you. It's so good to see you, my sister. Nothing but mad love to you. Come on in here, get your seat, and go ahead and just make yourself real comfortable. Now, I'll tell you who the invisible one, the Bishop of Twitch. He's here, but he's really not here. But he's here. I appreciate you, one reason. And listen, I promise you, if you want to be blessed and you want to connect with somebody that's just good energy and just all kinds of love, you want to be connected to One Reason and the Gospel Takeover. Listen, these babies, the soldiers for Christ, they don't play over there. I appreciate you, One Reason, and anybody that's not following One Reason, quit your wicked ways. Quit your wicked ways, because he's going to bless your whole life. Coming on down, and I'm looking, and DJ, is in the room. So much mad love coming to you. I just like to say, I love it. I love it. I love it. Quit your wicked ways. That's it right there. Quit your wicked ways and come on in here and let's have some good conversation here in the Lion's Den. Truck driver 57, that's my Mufasa. That's my Lion King. I see you, my brother. And again, congratulations to you in Grandpa Holmes' chair. Come on. I feel that love all in the atmosphere, truck driver. That's all I ever feel when I get close to you. That's all I feel is love in the atmosphere. And that's the way we roll in the Lion's Den. Coming on down, I'm looking and I'm booking. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. If anybody came in the basement while I was upstairs, I don't want to miss you. Thank you for being here in the Lion's Den this morning, and I appreciate you. Now, I tell you what, how many of y'all sick as Thanksgiving dinner? Go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. This is Tuesday. So listen, from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, all the way to Tuesday. If you are sick and tired of being sick and tired of that Thanksgiving dinner, put a 1 in the chat. If you've already thrown it away, put a 2 in the chat. Because listen, saints, you can only take so much. Isn't it right? You can only take so much. And then after a while, now I'm going to tell you, if y'all might be like my father, who first and foremost, he didn't like leftovers. Listen, not throw it away. It's not thrown away. Oh, Lord. Listen, you don't want another Thanksgiving. Nothing. Simply amazing. I see you talking to me. I see you talking to me. Listen, my dad did not want leftovers from today to tomorrow. So, for those of y'all that's still trying to work on that Thanksgiving dinner from how many days ago? I don't know. You might want to rethink that thing. You just might want to rethink it. Crazy Berrytown. Stacy, you've already thrown that stuff away. DJ, I see you. Crazy Berrytown is my beautiful friend. Come on in here, Crazy Berrytown. It is so good to have you on this morning. She will Zumba you to Zion. I promise you she will. She'll Zumba you to Zion. She will give you some chit chat and a sip of something, your beverage of your choosing. I started to say something else, but I'm just going to say a beverage of your choosing. She will bring you in and just entertain you to the nth degree. And she is also the one of our beautiful, beautiful Good Grief staff. So much love to you. So much love coming to you, Crazy Berrytown. And I just want to tell you, if you're not following Crazy Berrytown, quit your wicked ways. Come on and quit your wicked ways, because she's going to bless your whole life. Now, we got prayers going up for Crazy Berrytown. Put those prayer hands in there. Put those prayer hands in there. Appreciate you so much, love. And the Lion's Den is upholding you in your time of bereavement. Woo, Woo! Now I tell you, I am coming through and I'm looking at what all we got to talk about this morning. Love us some Crazy Berry Town and Captain Boots. Those are my babies right there. Now you know where we go. Thank you for those praying hands. Thank you for those bended knees. Y'all know it's going up in the Lion's Den. It's going up in the Lion's Den. Prayers for my sister. Now, listen, what had happened was, whilst we slept and slobbered, oh my goodness, y'all, I'm going to tell you, there's a few things that's happening out there, and I'm going to touch on those, and we're going to get in, and we're going to get out. I don't know how much of the negativity I'm going to entertain today, because, you know, we trying to recover. We half comatose this morning. We're tired. Shelly Thunder, I see you, sis. I see you. You snuck in on me, but I see you. Now I'm looking and I'm booking and I'm those Arizonians that have finally decided that they're going to certify the election. I'm not going to go a whole lot of places there, but all I can say is, Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy. It just doesn't make any. It just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. Your mouth must have been open, DJ. No, you know, I just saw you. That were you slobbering? Were you slobbering? Were you slobbering? You know, some of us just naturally drool. You wake up and, you know, some of it's already dried up by the time you wake up and it's just crusted white over there on the side. Okay, anyway, DJ, you know, I'm not going to go down that path with you. We got the folks that are finally deciding that they're going to certify the election. We got that going on this morning. And they finally have conceded that those that were Trump endorsed did not win. So, you know, I don't know, you know, I'm weary, saints. I'm weary because it doesn't feel like we should have to do this after every single election. Whenever the Trump endorsed don't win, that we have to recount. We have to decide, are we going to certify? We have to do this. We have to do that. It's just tiring. Listen, not just tired, but tired. It makes you tired. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, because it's just a waste of time. It's an exercise in nothingness. And at the end of the day, we're just wasting time and taxpayers' dollars. But finally, some are coming to the point, but we still have some that are out there dragging their feet as to whether or not they're going to go ahead and certify. So that's, you know, one of those things that we have to live with in this country. It seems like it's our new existence on the political arena, in the political scene. And it's most unfortunate. Georgians, y'all vote. Every time I look on IG, every time I look on Facebook or social media, and I see y'all standing there with those I voted stickers, something in my shondo wants to shout. Do you understand the words that's coming out of my mouth? When I see that you, now, I do have to say, I can't tell you who to vote for, but I hope and pray that you're not voting for crazy people. Georgia, we got you on our mind. I got Georgia on my mind. Listen, I want y'all to vote. Somebody had posted up that this was the last day, or was it? I may have seen this yesterday, so y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to put incorrect information out there, but absentee voting ballots, I guess this was either yesterday or today is the last day. If you need that absentee ballot, please, because we don't want you to miss your vote. Because listen, you are critical to the United States of America right now. That Georgia peach is holding all the juice. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. That Georgia peach is holding the juice right now. So I hope you all are going to get out there and do some good voting. Auntie Diddy, good morning to you. So much mad love coming to you, sis. So much mad love coming to you. Come on in here, and I love me some you. Now, I'm looking and I'm checking out. Oh, Auntie Diddy is the counterpart to Uncle Diddy, who is a streamer. And if you're not following Uncle Diddy, quit your wicked ways. Quit your wicked ways, because I want you to be blessed by the ministry of Grown Man Business, because they mean grown man business over there. Please go out and follow them, and they'll bless your whole life. I'm listening. I got strange sounds going on in my... Do you hear what I hear? Maybe it's just in my headset. Are y'all hearing strange noises? Talk to me, Cheerings. If you're hearing strange noises being communicated over the... oh, you don't hear? Okay, well, maybe it's only me. Okay, so it might just be in my studio. Okay, so let me keep going. Now, so at the end of the day, I'm looking at the Clarence Gilliard, who starred in Die Hard and Walker, Texas Ranger, has died at 66 years of age. I'm hearing something all in my shondo, and I'm glad that y'all not hearing it, but it's disturbing my peace. It's disturbing my peace. It is. You can hear it? Okay. I was like, what in the hole is going on up in here? Let me just check. Hold on just one moment for station identification, and I'm gonna try to figure this out right quick. I'll be back. I'm back. Now, listen here. The devil was loose in my space heater. I was like, and it's not your standard type. It's a little bit more sophisticated than your basic space heater. However, listen, let me tell you, when I tell you, I turned that joker off and it was still squealing. I said, Satan, the Lord rebuke you. How do you turn something off and that joker was still going forth? So, listen, I'm trying to tell you, I looked at that thing and I had to bind Diablo. I was like, you shall not continue to squeal and holler. Side piece in the space heater, Tall Pumps. I said, you shall not. What you shall not do is continue to squeal and holler after I've turned you off. Now, that's what's not gonna... Listen, the rebel, you tickled. I'm like, come on, Tall Pumps. I'm gonna give it to you because, listen, could it be? Could it be? The devil. Shelly Thunder, I'm trying to tell you, it wasn't nothing but that old slimy devil. I had to literally, now see, this, I'm getting a word from the Lord on this. I'm getting a word from the Lord even as I speak. Some folk, y'all not only gonna have to turn them off, you gonna have to unplug them. Baby, I had to unplug that joker. I said, what in the dickens is going on in here? Crazy Beartown, could it be? Could it be? The devil! Crazy Beartown, that thing thought it was gonna talk louder than I did. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? I'm like, what in the, I'm distracted. My attention is divided. Listen, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. I was double-minded. I was trying to figure it out. I was like, Lord Jesus, what in the whole heaven and earth is going on in my studio? Space Heater's going to the trash. Because the gates of hell shall not prevail. It was Diablo and his twin brother Beelzebub. I'm like, Lord Jesus, the devil done got in my space heater. And what I shall not be is fried, dyed, and laid to decide in my studio from a space heater. That's what's not going to happen. Oh, no, we not getting ready to have no fires up in here. There'll be a fire one day that the firemen can't put out, but this ain't it. I just want you to know. So listen, at the end of the day, y'all, thank you for your patience in holding on with me, because I had to cast the devil out. I had to cast the devil out so we could continue. It was going forth, Rebel. It was going forth like them people in the stories that you be telling at your church. They were going forth. It was truly. DJ James Dark Knight is in the room. Good morning to you, my brother. Thank you so much for coming into the room. It's so good to have you with us. Here we got another DJ, y'all. And you know how we tell you, if you're not following DJ James Dark Knight, quit chewing ways. Go on out there and follow my brother and let him bless you real good. So there we go. Listen, you done fell out. Simply amazing. Well, I was bound to determine whatever it was and whatever it was, it had to go. MCP 812 is in the room. Come on in here, my sister cousin. Mad love to you. It is so good to see you. Thank you for coming in the Lion's Den this morning, and welcome back to you. Now, listen, as I said, Die Hard, Walker, Texas Ranger, he has traveled on to that celestial plane. So family prayers to friends and those that loved him. Now, if y'all watched Texas Ranger, put a 1 in the chat. Do I have any other Texas Ranger? There was a season of my life for some reason or another. Thank you for following Midfield 12. Yeah, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here. I'm just gonna call you Midfield 12. Any Texas Ranger watchers in here? Yay, nay. You loved it. I see you, MCP8. Maybe it was just for the country folk. The city folk wasn't feeling him. But listen, I got another one. Come on, the gift, Nathan Lamont. Come on. I got two. I got two mints in one. Everybody else said, nah, I'll pass on that. Yes, ma'am. Miss Gloria, listen, yeah, we had you fixed on Texas Ranger. I see you, Simply. I see you. DJ, you know, y'all talking about y'all about to quit jobs and get Crazy Bear. Come on, here you come. Crazy Berry Town. DJ, you know, okay, so I got some other Texas Ranger fans out there. So, you know, I appreciate all of y'all that held up for the Texas Ranger. Because, listen, I enjoyed his the script may have been, you know, in hindsight, the script may have been a little weak, but, you know, they tried to give you plenty of action. They tried to have a little reason and you know, come on, you got Texas Ranger, Knight Rider. Listen, the Blessed Trinity right there. Texas Ranger, Knight Rider, and now how many of y'all even remember Chips? I remember Chips. How many of y'all remember Chips? Not from reruns, but you actually watched it. Because DJ, you know, I think you might be showing your age. How many actually watched Chips when it ran originally? Put a 1 in the chat. If you actually remember and lived during the lifetime of Chips, put a 1 in the chat. And some of y'all don't remember Chips. The California Highway Patrol on the motorcycles. Come on. I see you, Royal Confessions. I see you, MC. Good morning to you, Iron. Come on in here. Good to see you this morning. I see you. Some of y'all don't know nothing about what I'm talking about. You asked the question, you were divorcing the space heater. Did you? Oh, no, I didn't see that, Simply Mason. It's not only divorced, honey. It's cast into the lake of fire. Do you understand the words that are coming out? It's going into a horrible pit. You love Chips too, Crazy Berry Town. Come through. Simply Amazing. I see you. You watched a couple of times, but you didn't like it. I see you, Stacy 546. Even though you're my sister in blue and ended up being a police officer, you just didn't have anything morning working on that. You too, Michelle Brown. I see you, truck driver. Come on, come on, come on. Y'all didn't start. You watched it with your aunt. Come on, Crazy Berry Town. So y'all know what we talking about. He done put out the Blessed Trinity, and for those of us that can remember. Crazy Berry Town, were you a little girl when you were watching Chips, or were you pretty much? No, you were still a little girl. I'm surprised that you even saw it at all, quite frankly, because I may have you a little younger than you actually are, but you just seem so young at heart to me. I wasn't expecting you to get in on the Chips, but nonetheless, y'all know what we're talking about out here, and so much love going to them. I'm coming over and I want to look, I definitely want to touch on that. This is where I want to go. Meanwhile, in China, U.S. and China in first South China Sea encounter since Xi and Biden meeting. I'm not feeling real comfortable about the state of the world and what's going on with our heads of state. I just feel you were pretty little. I thought you were Crazy Berry Town. I was gonna say now and if you done slipped up on me and you just a little tad bit older than I thought you were, you gonna put one over on me, because I thought I'm usually pretty good on age and being able to assess ranges of people's age. And I was about to be really, really off. I was about to be really, really off, Crazy Berry Town. What about Black Hawk? Come on, y'all. Go ahead and name your story. Go ahead and name your shows. Go ahead and name them. What about Black Hawk? I watched Black Hawk. I saw it, truck driver. You showing your age too, sir. Of course, we both came from that good year of 63. It was a good year. It was an absolutely, positively good year. So, I know I know you know. Now, I'm looking and I'm booking and I'm checking out. The United States and Chinese military exchanged harsh words Tuesday after a U.S. Navy warship performed the first freedom of navigation operation, otherwise known as FONOP. Now, that's a whole lot. That's a whole lot of words coming out of here. FONOP, which stands for Freedom of Navigation Operation in the South China Seas. So the leaders had words, and they're attempting to try to ease the tensions. Now, why are we in the China Seas? Now, for those of you all that are really in tune to military and military maneuvers and what all's going on right now, why are we in the South China Seas? And while I understand, I know the position of so many that we need to control the narrative and we need to control what's happening out here in these waters and over the land and over the air and in the atmosphere. We've got to dominate and we've got to be number one. I just feel like so many times we in these here United States of America are constantly putting our nose in a whole bunch of business. And at the end of the day, I know the reality of it is it's all about money, dollars, who's controlling this, who's controlling that, who's going to have the wealth and who. I just wish, and I guess can we wish upon a star? I just wish, while we out here talking about harsh words and maneuvering in other folks' waters and territories, I wish that we found other uses for the money that we spend in these excursions and these skirmishes and in these situations in places that I feel like, at the end of the day, can we just take care of the United States? Can we just take care of the United States? While we spend so much money and while we spend so much energy, and I'm looking in my own backyard and I'm looking across this country, and I don't know, something about it's a bottomless pit when it comes to military. when it comes to military needing money, when it comes to military spending and burning up money, it's an unlimited pit. But when it comes to defend in other areas outside of these continental United States, but when it comes to putting money in your own backyard, it seems like we are forever not able to find enough money in the coffers to do what it is that we need done at home. So when I see stories like this, and now that President Biden and President Z are having their conversations one with the other, trying to pull the temperature down, and why are we over there? Why are our lips, hips, fingertips, and ships over there? So, you know, I don't know. I just, it makes me tired. It makes me weary that we're so, if everybody would find their land and stop colonizing and stop controlling everybody else or trying to, if everybody would find their own space and place and mind their own business, could we save some money? We're out here in, again, FONOP, a freedom of navigation operation. What is that? What is a freedom of navigation operation? Somebody explain it to me. Somebody in chat, you know, what is a freedom? I mean, you can't, all of this stuff we come, a FONOP. What is a freedom of navigation operation? What is that? But whatever it is, we just had to do it. Whatever it is, we just had to engage in it. Whatever it is, we just had to operate and execute it. Now we got folks mad. So at the end of the day, I just, what is freedom of navigation operation? That sounds like to me, I have the freedom to come in your water and do whatever I want to do and dare you to say something. That's what it sounds like to me. I got the freedom to operate in your waters and dare you to say something. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds to me like I just want to flex my muscles in your water and in your territory and dare you to come over here and say something to me. That's what it feels like. So it's a treaty the U.S. made up to be in somebody's business. I see you, Michelle. A treaty that we made up to be in somebody's business. DJ, you know, you must have went through our boot camp, because that's exactly what they told us in the Navy. Listen, DJ, you know, the talking points, you know, civics and all of that. Yeah, and believe me, I am as loyal can get. As far as I love this country, I don't love all of the country's behaviors. I don't love, but at the end of the day, I am a good citizen and exercise all of my citizens' rights in accordance with the law. However, this kind of stuff really gets on my nerves. So, you know, say that we are over there in their water and can't get our own water together. Come on, go ahead and sip, tall pumps. Because at the end of the day, everybody knows it's LMNOP. Come on, DJ, you know, explain it to me. It doesn't even sound right. Freedom. Now, this is what we always get when you start talking to this extreme right, and the extreme right does have a base that it came from and just kept going farther and farther right. But this idea that we have the freedom to do, and again, when we talk about freedom, understand that from the foundation of the world, freedom was not talking about whether or not you weren't talking about Native Americans. You weren't talking about black people. Quite frankly, you really weren't even talking about women. So at the end of the day, we get into this scenario where I look and I hear this word, I have the freedom to, but it's only one-sided freedom for one select group. It's not for everybody. So this is where I get tripped up when you keep on talking about your freedom to carry your gun, your freedom to stand your ground, your freedom. But that freedom doesn't extend to everybody. So this, to me, when you start talking about FONOP, F-O-N-O-P, when you start talking about FONOP, it sounds to me, I have the freedom to navigate in your water. That's exactly what that sounds like to me. And I dare you to say something to me. But then does FONOP work in reverse? So does that mean that if South China wants to send their folks over here, the Chinese military over here, and start floating and crawling all through our waters, do they have FONOP too? Come on, explain it to me, Lucy. Explain it to me. If all the Chinese decide they gonna come over here and float their ships and do their exercises, do they have that same freedom of navigation in operation? Explain it to me. So when I see that word freedom, and we throw that word around, as I see that word freedom, and we talk about freedoms that we have, and this country gives us that right. When I see us talking about freedom, are we talking about freedom for everybody? Because if we're going to go over here in South China, we're going to go over here in South China and crawl all through their waters, and then get mad because the temperature is rising. What did you think was going to happen? What did you think was going to happen? You knew exactly what was happening. So Houston, eyes have not seen nor ears heard. The problem headed the USA's way. Float on, float on. Because listen, at some point, somebody's going to get enough nerve. At some point, somebody's going to get enough unction and gumption that they're going to say, oh, you got FONOP? We got FONOP too. You got FONOP. You get a FONOP. You get FONOP. You get FONOP. They're going to be just like Oprah and give everybody FONOP. And we're going to be sitting here looking real stupid. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. We're going to be sitting here looking real stupid. I hear you, DJ. They already do. But the point that I'm making is this. When you want to say that when you come on my territory and when you do your exercises over here, I almost want to say it's an act of aggression. But when we go other places and do the very same thing, then it's not. So, I just, come on, DJ, come on and talk to me because you were in the Marines. They are off the coast at all the time, and we supposedly increase our security measures. I hear you, DJ, and especially as a Navy man, So at the end of the day, all of this flexing of muscles and flexing of power, I don't like it. I have no appreciation for it. And you can say you're increasing security measures all you want to, DJ, At the end of the day, we're just playing games. And this, I'm going to tell you, I feel very strongly. If y'all want to put people's lives in jeopardy, and y'all may not agree with me because it's okay. We can walk hand in hand without seeing eye to eye. But at the end of the day, yes, UOQ, I'm going to tell it no cream, no sugar. We're going to tell it like it T-I-Z-tis. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? We're going to tell it like it T-I-Z-tis. Because we're not going to, listen, that's the way we roll. I'm looking, and if you want to have a war, instead of spending all this money and instead of putting all of our children out there and putting their lives in danger and in jeopardy, let the leaders, y'all remember back in the day, and they did use, if you're not familiar with this as far as historical facts, they did have back in the day where the two dueling parties in a political situation could actually challenge each other to a duel, and they could get out, and it was like, okay, I'm gonna shoot you, you shoot me, whoever hits, and whoever, hey, they used to do that in the early times of the country. What am I saying? Y'all quit putting the children and the babies out here. If y'all are at odds with one another and you want to kill up folk, kill your family. Oh, y'all ain't ready for me. Okay, I'm just saying, why can't you? Because at the end of the day, your children are not going to fight. Your children I'm talking about the leadership. Your children are not going to be out there in harm's way. Y'all just putting out everybody. So if you really, really, really want to cut this stuff and cut to the quick and calm this thing down, y'all go out there and fight each other. How about that? How about that? Now, That would put y'all in a whole different mindset of if President Biden say had to fight President Z in hand-to-hand Mortal Kombat. I bet y'all get all these old folks out of the all these geriatric patients. Y'all be like, we don't want them no more. We want some young, strong, able-bodied people. Because y'all already know Biden done fell off his bicycle. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. That's not funny. But if you saw that video, the man was out there riding on his bicycle trying to wave to the press, and he just tilted right on over. Oh, good morning, T. Summers. Good morning to you. It's so good to see you on this fine day. Congratulations, you were in Grandpa Holmes' not the chair, but you did make it onto the love seat. So good to see you. BTD Mom, that's my sister right there. And thank you for that resub. Thank you so much. So at the end of the day, two hands on. I need two hands on, T. He was out there trying to wave to the press that was out there while he was trying to have his little photo op on that bicycle and fell smooth over. Now, whoever planned that event needs a whooping. Whoever planned that event and had cameras there needs a whooping, because that man fell smooth off that bicycle. He lost the feeling in his legs somehow. So at the end of the day, if they was out there having to go hand-to-hand Mortal Kombat, I bet you the age of these folks that we put in office would come down, and we get rid of some of these geriatric folk that should have been gone a long time ago. But that's my own little talk right there, and I'm gonna leave that alone. But at the end of the day, that's in the news this morning because the folks are heated, the folks are upset, for good reason, because at the end of the day, I just feel, say what you want to say. Nah, we ain't got no business out there in their water, So, yeah, well, you're special, spiritual thought leader. You don't know what's going on. I know, I don't know what's going on. But at the end of the day, what I do know, it's going to all revolve around money and who's going to control the money. That I do know. And trying to control somebody else's resources. So, it is what it is. Let's just call a spade a spade. Now, I got some news for views out here this morning, and I want to put some of that up as well. I appreciate those of you who have been truck driver. You are just Johnny on the spot and faithful putting stuff in news for views. I want to come around and I want to touch on a few things and have some conversation. What I do, let me see. There were a couple of items that I really wanted to kind of touch on. Let's see. There's a constant push right now that's trying to get people of color to understand our strength and the power that we have as consumers. I want to go here and just share this that Truck sent, and I'm just going to share it, and we'll have some commentary on it, if you will. But let's check this out and see what you think.
This response here is something I said about black power and black influence, okay? I'm going to give you one simple example how powerful the black community in America is. Just retail spending power. That coin, that money is power. Now look at this. Right here on top of Google, the African American population, yes, historically held an extremely powerful position in the retail marketplace, excuse me. Look at this. You guys, the black community, known to drive trends across food, beauty, media, and more. Okay, this is just one aspect of black power. Look at this. The projected reach by 2024 is 1.8 trillion. That's a T, y'all. Trillion dollars. $1.8 trillion. Part of this thread here, I stated that blacks in America, yes, African Americans, they can create or destroy any company in the United States of America if they wanted to. If they acted collectively. $1.8 trillion is no freaking joke. You agree?
Now, I'm going to run that one more time so y'all can, for anybody that was trying to catch it in bits and pieces. Basically, we're talking in the trillions. The black dollar controls in the trillions. And let me stop. Dr. Dady Priest, she's in the room, y'all. The high priestess is here. Good morning to you, Dr. Dady Priest, and come on in the room. So much love coming to you. I'm so glad. And as I said earlier, if you're not following Dr. Dady Priest, quit your wicked ways, because she's going to bless your whole life. Come on in here, sis. So much mad love to you. Now, they're talking about the power of the black dollar. And again, remember that they said by 2024, it's going to be in the trillions with a T, y'all. With a T, in the trillions. Come on here.
This response here is something I said about black power and black influence, okay? I'm going to give you one simple example how powerful the black community in America is. Just retail spending power. That coin, that money is power. Now look at this. Right here on top of Google, the African American population, yes, historically held an extremely powerful position in the retail marketplace, excuse me. Look at this. You guys, the black community, known to drive trends across food, beauty, media, and more. Okay, this is just one aspect of black power. Look at this. The projected reach by 2024 is 1.8 trillion. That's a T, y'all. $1 trillion. $1.8 trillion. Part of this thread here, I stated that blacks in America, yes, African Americans, they can create or destroy any company in the United States of America if they wanted to, if they acted collectively. $1.8 trillion is no freaking joke. You agree?
Now, cheerings. As he said, now let me identify a few things first. Isn't it interesting that other cultural and ethnic groups have this information, but we don't have it? And I'm saying that from the standpoint, this is some brother of some kind of Asian or native descent. I'm not sure. But he's somebody other than black, as we would define it. And isn't it interesting that they understand that the black dollar determines the trend? Did you hear him when he said for food, for fashion, for retail? We drive the trends. We literally influence what direction that goes into. Now, I'm really gonna stop right here. Good morning, Barbara Hardy. Come on in here. That's my These Are They friend. So much love coming to you. Come on. That's my beautiful sister. Listen, almost $2 trillion by 2024. Please hear me. We command in this economy. And what he's basically saying is that $2 trillion in the economy could basically make or crumble any particular area if we did it as a collective. $2 trillion, y'all. Do y'all understand? 2 trillion with a T dollars. This is why, and as I look at the power of the black dollar, and I look and listen to this kind of conversation, and thank you, sir, whoever you are, for putting it out here so that we can get the information. And he's just pulling it out of resources. He's not creating the information. He's just pulling it out of resources. At the end of the day, do we not understand how much power collectively we hold with the black dollar? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Do you understand? For all of the entrepreneurs that are here in this room, and there are several, I just found out, T, I believe, if I'm not off, T Summers, I think you have a travel agency, if that's correct, for the adult, for adult mature travelers that want to see the world. I think that's what I saw, unless I got you confused with somebody else. We got Dr. Dady Priest. We got Rebel in here. Listen, I can just go down the list and the line. One Reason's out here putting. Do you imagine, Dr. Dady, if we used our buying power to circumvent the venture capitalists who shun us? That's what I'm talking about. To circumvent the venture capitalists who won't give us a dime. If we put our 1.8 trillion, that's almost $2 trillion, y'all. Just like you saw him say there, reading from the literature, yes, you have the ability to influence the trends. You have the ability to make something build or crumble. This is what black dollars have. Do we not understand this? And if we would combine together to circumvent all this insanity that doesn't want to give us a seat at the table, build your own room. We built it anyhow. Build your own table. Build your own chairs. So I just, when Truck Driver sent that clip, thank you, Truck, I looked at that and I said, if we ever could really wake folks up, don't be afraid of the roar. I'm waking up lions. Don't be afraid of the roar. I'm waking up lions. If we ever could wake up enough lions and get a real understanding of collectively what our power really is, we don't need to ask nobody for nothing, as the folks say. We don't have to ask anybody for anything. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Black people receive 1% of the money that's floating around, yet we are the biggest purchasers, Dr. Dady. We are the biggest chunk of the consumer market, but we get none. None yet. We get none of those dollars that are floating around. Babies, we need to run to the roar, Dr. Dady. We need to run to the roar. Stop all this mamby-pamby, we don't have this and we don't have, collectively, come on, Wakanda forever, y'all ain't ready for me. We need to understand the power that we have collectively and come together and stop playing these foolish games with folks that ain't gonna give you nothing. And then even at that, if they give you something, they all while they giving it to you, they're plotting and planning how to take it back. Oh, you can have it for 5 minutes. You can have it for 10 minutes. You can hold it for 15 minutes, but we're not going to let it go to generational wealth. It's not going to go to your children and your grandchildren. It's not going to go, matter of fact, you might not finish enjoying it before you close your eyes. Because whenever we decide to take it back, we're going to take it back. They'll find a way to get your stuff. We got a situation going on in Kansas City right now where many, many black people purchased their homes, owned them. Now, this was just the most dastardly thing. Purchased their own homes, owned them, beautiful area. Then they decided to come in because the hospital wants to come in and expand into that area. Took those people's homes. And do you know, I talked with a sister and they offered them, I think it was $1,000 for a move. But this is the thing, as if that wasn't bad enough. Who's going to move? What can you do with $1,000? As if that wasn't bad enough, when they actually started reading the covenants, they owned the houses, but they didn't own the land. Did you hear the words coming out of my mouth? They owned the houses, but they didn't own the land. I'm going to say it once more and again, because this is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. They set up these nice, lovely black neighborhoods and sold to all of those black families that were trying to have upward mobility. But come to find out, they owned the houses, but they didn't own the land. be? Y'all ain't ready for me. Could it be? The devil. Baby, that ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. Tell me how you can own a house, but you don't own the land under the house. So what you gonna do, jack the house up and move it somewhere else? Baby, they knew that when they was selling to all them black people. They knew good and well what they were doing. Came through, they always intended to get that land back. Y'all ain't playing with me. They always intended to get that land back. And then came through with eminent domain. Y'all ain't buying what I'm selling. Taking people's land, offering $1,000 to move. No. Quit playing. Then we also have the same crisis where they've increased the taxes so on the homes that people have paid for their homes paid for, but they can't keep up the taxes. I'm talking real talk. I'm trying to get you to understand. When I tell you I'm going to let you hold it for a few years, I'm going to let you pay it off. I'm going to let you keep the grass cut. I'm going to let you keep it from this, that, and the other. But whenever I want it back, whether I got to raise the taxes where you can't pay the taxes to keep the house, whether I'm going to run your utilities so high that you can't afford the utilities, I'm going to figure out some kind of way. It's a raid, y'all. It's a raid. Come on in here. Is it just a one woman? No, one reason. Come on in here. It's a raid. Hey. Come on in here. I see you, DJ Lady Rasta. It's one reason in the gospel takeover family. Come on in here, Raiders. I see one and done, but I see you, sis. DJ Lady Rasta is a streamer. I want y'all to follow her. She will bless your whole life. Now, I'm going to come on back. Thank you for coming in, sis. So much mad love to you. Thank you for coming through. We appreciate you. Now, this, at the end of the day, I'm listening and I'm looking and I see you, T. Summers. So at the end of the day, we really don't own anyone. It's a one-woman raid. We'll take it. We'll take it. At the end of the day, because whenever they want that stuff back, y'all ain't buying what I'm selling. They gonna find a way to take that stuff back. Am I talking to anybody? They gonna find a way to take it back. We get in the stock market. We're doing well in the stock market. We're doing what they told us to do the whole time. Ride it for the long haul. Don't pull the money out. I don't care how bad it looks. Ride it for the long haul because it may hit an all-time low, but then it can recover and come back and give you an old all-time high. Then you got 2008. We want our stuff back. We want our houses back. We want our money back. We want our stock back. And the next thing you know, folks that had everything that they could have in that market woke up and they y'all ain't buying what I'm selling. So this is all I'm saying to us. There has to be another way for us to circumvent this mess because the system as it currently exists is not set up to benefit us. The U.S. doesn't stand for us. This is where, thank you, DJ, thank you for that resub. DJ Lady Rasta, I see your coffee cup. I see it, because y'all know how we do it in here. No cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black, because I tells it like it T-I-Z-Tiz. But I'm going to come back to the clip. $2 trillion with the T. $2 trillion we command collectively. $2 trillion. Can you process that, people? We command $2 trillion. That's a lot of cheese, y'all. That's a lot of cheddar. And so at the end of the day, I thank you so much. Let's see, did I miss it? Fairly All Day, thank you for that gifted sub. I appreciate you, sis. That's my dearest friend. Thank you. Listen, and we want trillions of dollars to pass on to these people right here. Y'all think I'm playing, but I'm as serious as a heart attack. I want that trillion, that 2 trillion to start passing amongst folks that are right here in this room. That's a lot of money, DJ, you know. That is a lot of money. And this is where I'm going to continue to holler and scream until we get some realization of just show them who you are. Do we understand how much power there is in $2 trillion? Baby, if we pulled $2 trillion out of the economy and circulated only amongst the black community, you best believe they'd be paying attention to the black community. I said what I said. If we pull $2 trillion out of general circulation to all of these companies, as Dr. Dady said, that won't get these venture capitalists that won't give us a dime. They won't give us a dime. If we pull that money out of circulation, BTD Mama, I see you boycotting Family Dollar. If we pulled that money out of circulation, and we circulated that amongst the black community. And until, you know, some of y'all get really nervous when we start talking like, well, you know, why would we want to do that? Because that's the only way that they're going to understand is that we're going to have to pull up, come up, and begin to identify ourselves as players in the game of the economy. And not because we're by hook and crook and cheating folk out of their stuff. We can do the right things and still come out on top. Do y'all understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? I don't have to do it by hook or crook, which is the only way they want to imply. If the black folk get something, my uncle built a house in the country, and he built the house from scratch. And when he moved to the area, good morning, New York Cheesecake. So much love to you. Come on in here. It's good to see you. Come on, Ronzi, in it for fashion. I see you. Good morning. Come on in here. I got you, Niecy, and you're working and lurking, and we love you anyway. These two, I believe both of them are streamers. Please go out there and check them out. Now, y'all see, I still got Diablo up here because listen. I want us to understand some very vital and critical pieces of information. If we keep doing everything the way we've always done it, it's insanity. And you think there's going to be a change? No, ain't no change. A change come over you. It's going to be some coins, just some dollars, some pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters. You ain't going to have no soft money. Oh, it's going to be a change while everybody else is dealing in tens, 20s, hundreds, and thousands. You're going to be sitting up there with coins. So at the end of the day, I got you. Thank you for the lurk. I appreciate you, New York Cheesecake. I thank you for the lurk. If we understand that if we're going to start to change the narrative and the dynamic of the way that we operate, we've got to control the money. And control our own money. I ain't talking about going getting somebody else's. Now, that 1.8 trillion that we contribute to the economy is what we got right now. Well, we don't make enough money. Do you understand? The reality is connected. The reality is when we do it connected, cooperatively. This is a power and a force. I don't care if you're on welfare. I don't care wherever you fall on the strata, on the ladder of economics. I don't care how much your income. That 1.8, nearly $2 trillion is from all of those different backgrounds. And at the end of the day, it's $2 trillion. The rich, the poor, is $2 trillion. Oh my God. Oh my. Do you understand that? $2 trillion. So with that, that story right there, it just lights my fire, y'all. It gets me all lit up. It gets me going because at the end of the day, we have the power right now. I'm not talking about can we get the power later on. We have the power right now. All we got to do is come together. That's the issue. How do we come together? How do we unite forces? How do we support? How do we undergird? And listen, the day is over for us cat fighting and biting and devouring one another. If you don't understand that the vision for this season to win is about unifying forces and coming together synergistically, you done missed the boat already. It's about coming together and beginning to make a totally different narrative. Now, that being said, I want to come here for a second. Oh Lord, I'm not even, we might talk about Stephen Smith. I don't feel like that today. I don't feel like that right now. That's not the trend that I'm in right now. This is where I want to go. This is where I want to go right here. Sister Soldier, this is all the way back. This dates all the way back to Phil Donahue. So y'all know this is old. Y'all know this is old. But this, come on, Fairly. Thank you so much for that gifted sub. I appreciate you, my dearest friend. Listen, we're building something. We're building something. We're building something over here in the Lion's Den. I appreciate your support. It means the world. And welcome to the Lion's Den family, New York Cheesecake. I appreciate you, as well as DJ. You know, both of you, welcome to the family. Now listen, this is Sister Soldier. If you've never heard of Sister Soldier or don't know Sister Soldier, you're gonna know her today. Sister Soldier, and again, this is all the way back under Phil Donahue's reign as the talk show host of the nation. So you know this is old. But listen, while I'm on this trend right here, it just seems appropriate to pull this little clip in. I want y'all to listen to what Sister Soldier is saying. Listen very closely. Listen very closely. Now, she's up against, and I'm using the word against, Cornel West and others that are even in their own little arena trying to down talk her, but Sister Soldier wasn't having it. Come on and check out my sister, because I love me some her. Here we go. Now, I want you to listen very closely to the things that she's saying. Listen to what she is saying.
Public and otherwise. Nobody ever told me that I was an African woman. Nobody ever told me what the history of African people were. Nobody ever told me that America is business, and without business you will have nothing and be nothing. And nobody ever told me how to organize business so that I would be able to develop institutions in my own community. So now the sincerity of all of the programs and all of the education has to be questioned, indicted, and convicted, because the bottom line is that America is not and has never tried to produce African adults who are functional, self-sufficient, who understand their politics, their economics, and their relationship to the world politics and the world economics.
America is unified with the NAACP, the Urban League, and the traditional We Shall Overcome civil rights leaders of the 50s and 60s that have been all but abandoned and ignored by younger people, Sister Soldier included.
I think that the dice are loaded, and that's what's left out of Mr. Brown's piece. See, there was a period of time in this country after Reconstruction where African people owned a lot of land, owned a lot of businesses, and did a lot of things. But what happened was the American government, the Ku Klux Klan, and other organizations organized in smashing that effort. So it's not that we haven't tried to own land and have not organized businesses. It's that if you are African in America, or in Latin America, or in the Caribbean, or in the continent, you will be hunted no matter what you do, because they do not want us to survive and become self-sufficient. And you can say no, but you haven't lived this life. You haven't lived this life.
And to be happy, we want food. I'm talking about that. All right. Now, to paraphrase Senator Bradley of New Jersey, the state from which your piece was.
Senator Bradley gets much right when he talks.
He does, and he, among other things, and he's not claiming to be particularly original with the observation, we can't get there unless we go together. I have a terrible feeling that behind me are some people who do not agree.
Senator Bradley of the all-white United States Senate said we can't get there unless we all go there together. Sorry, none of us are where he is. That's number one. Number two, you're making a moral appeal to a country that doesn't have a moral conscience. The question becomes that when white people feel serious and angry and upset about abortion, they come out in the thousands up to the millions to say, this is what we believe about abortion. Where is the white outcry against white racism that murders African people all around this entire globe? It doesn't exist. So who are these white good people? I want to meet them. I want to see them. I feel it's not enough.
But that might be all we can get.
No. And guess what? I don't work with all I can get. What I work with is what I have. Listen, you have to have some confidence in the power of African people amongst ourselves to establish a foundation.
We have.
No, we haven't. We have utter chaos in our cities, and you got
There's
to
no
say
black
that.
institution we
You
can
can
build.
have a program. I'm not saying we've built a lot of institutions, and those institutions have not been effective. The majority of millions of African youth in this country are dying mentally, dying spiritually, dying emotionally, dying academically, and you may have a program, Mr. Brown may have a program, but what we got to talk about is an American government that tracks millions of African people who don't go to your program, don't go to Brown's program, millions of African people, not only here, but all around the world, and if we are not honest enough to say who are our friends, who are our enemies, to know what a friend is, to know what an enemy is, we will constantly be trying to get into people's parties, to shake our butts with them, to get them to like us, and that's not the question. The question is, what can we build amongst ourselves to secure ourselves from our enemies so that we will be able to survive into the future?
Mayor Kelly.
That's enough to know that if I walk out Washington, D.C. tonight, some black kid in Washington, D.C. is blowing off another black kid's head for a pair of sneakers because the institutions that we're talking about, not the things that we hold up and say, look, this is one example. The institutions that we're talking about are not saving the minds of those African children. That is the honest none of these Negroes saved me. None of these Negroes saved me. None of them. Listen, you know who saved me? A man named John Desane in Englewood, New Jersey, who told me who I was, who showed me my history, who told me who my enemies were, who let me know that this was not an easy world, who let me know that this was a cold environment, who let me no, what he's not a part of is dilly-dallying with the minds of African children and letting them know what the real situation is in America.
Saints of the Most High, you have just been blessed with just a little taste of Sister Soldier. Now, this is what I want to identify. And, some people will get really nervous and feel like, oh, man, she's inciting some form of militancy here. That's not at all where I am. At the end of the day, isn't it interesting, number one, that Sister Soldier said this how many years ago? And everything that she said is still true. Everything Sister Soldier said is still true. Now, and this is why I pointed out the fact and the reality. One reason is here. Thank you so much for that resub. I appreciate you, sir. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And again, one reason, if you're not following him, quit chewing your ways. And I need y'all to follow my brother. He's going to bless your whole life. Now, this is where I'm going with this, children. Everything Sister Soldier said was true. Everything Sister Soldier said was true. Now, this is what I want to point out, and some may not appreciate me for what. Oh, I didn't say she passed. I don't know if Sister Soldier is dead or not. I'm not passing that information on. Somebody Google it for me real fast. I don't want nobody to go out and say Sister Soldier died. I don't know that she is. But this is what I'm saying here. Everything that she said was true. Now, when I said she was up against Cornel West and, as she called them, other Negroes that were of the mindset that we need to work within the construct of the system because we're changing this systemically and we're coming out with these programs. Her point was that you cannot, with the programs that they have out, you cannot change the system if Oh, you were just saying you miss her presence. Okay, I got you, Rebel. I was like, I don't want to put out, to my knowledge, I don't know that she's deceased, but I don't want that to go out that was said from here. So at the end of the day, what she was saying, you cannot utilize an effective program if you're not changing the minds of the children by giving them the truth, by not trying to sugarcoat life and its realities. And come on, I'm going to say this, and some may be offended by this. You know that we have conversations with our children in private, one-on-one, amongst ourselves, people of color and black folk. You know, we have conversations amongst ourselves about how you really have to carry yourself out here in this world, because it's two different worlds. So at the end of the day, I'm saying, okay, why do we need to have that conversation in private? Why can't we just begin to speak the truth and speak to power in truth and speak to power with love? But we're not going to come in here and play a mamby-bamby game of, I can't say this in front. Thank you. She's still alive. Thank you for that, Ronzi. I'm not going to come in here and play a game of footsies with you. We're going to call a spade, and we're going to call a spade openly. I don't have to go in the recesses and in the privacy and the back bedrooms and in the closets of my home to tell my child what we all know is true. But nobody wants to speak the truth. We keep playing this little game. And as she said, you're asking for a covenant. You're asking me to make a moral covenant with a country that has shown that it's morally corrupt. Now, you come on now. You're asking me to make a moral covenant with a country that's morally corrupt. Now, I'm going to say it one more time. And this is in my Discord if you want to go out and see it. You're asking me to make a moral contract and covenant with a country that is showing itself, and I say showing, ing, in that it's continuing and ongoing. Not only is it not past tense, it's continuous and ongoing, showing that it's morally corrupt. Why would you ask me to make a covenant, a moral covenant with 45 or anybody that follows 45? Why would you ask me to make a moral covenant with someone that has come in and killed a whole population of people and taken over their land? Why would you ask me to make a moral covenant with someone that still continues to operate as if people of color and black people are not human? Why would you ask me to make a moral covenant in that scenario and expect me to believe that there's going to be some truth, some steadfastness, some keeping to the agreements and the covenant that we made? They made a covenant with the natives. They made a covenant with the indigenous people. And then the next thing you know, in the very document that they write, Declaration of Independence, they're calling them savages. So this is where I'm like, okay, so how do we need to, this is an elephant. This is an elephant, and this elephant is in the room. How do we eat this elephant? Somebody said one bite at a time. This is where I say, number one, as she said, we cannot colonize. We cannot continue to teach colonized thinking to our children. We're going to have to begin to teach them from a place of freedom. We're going to have to talk to them from a place of truth and reality. We need education to critically think. We need somebody that understands how to bring the people into a place where they can think critically. I got one system that shut down, but I'm going to bring it back. We need to, if I get disconnected, I'll be back. If I get disconnected, I'll be back. So we've got to come to a place where we begin in our educational process of our young minds, the ability to analytically and critically think through some things and say, no, you're not going to sell me something hook, line, and sinker. Even as she was challenging the programs that were being developed. Again, this was on Phil Donahue. Okay, let's put this in its proper perspective. Cornel West was young. Can we just go right there? Cornel West was young. So that tells you how long ago it was when Sister Soldier had that conversation. And everything she pointed out is still true today. That's what I'm trying to get. Everything that she pointed out is still true today. So at the end of it all, I just feel like we need to stop, step back, and reassess. And where as she spoke to Cornel West in the panel that was sitting for representation of black people, and no shade to him, I'm just saying she was taking him to task and saying, no, this approach that y'all taking, it's not going to work, because you're dealing with a situation where individuals that you're relying on to come through and even keep a covenant that they make with you, but they won't even make the covenant. How about that? You're expecting them to precipitate and create this change. Not going to happen. And I think this is where in the Lion's Den, when I'm constantly talking about waking up the lions, this is where a lot of it for me begins, because we cannot continue to perpetuate these ideas of someone is going to come in like a knight in shining armor and rescue us from these dastardly things that have been done to us and the places that we've been put in this country. No, it was by design, and it was put in the fabric of the country. Then we have to come up with other means by which to approach this elephant. One of the things that we got to do, first and foremost, change your thinking. Change your mind. Good morning, Disco Darren. He is a streamer. He will bless your whole life. Please follow Disco Darren. Such a beautiful brother. Love you, sir. Now, I need y'all to really think about this. We've got to change the thinking. We've got to change, like she said, when he said, didn't your mother? She said, no, somebody that told me the truth, that told me my history, that taught me my past, that taught me who my enemies are, who my friends are, what's true, This is where we start when we begin to take the young folks and really, really educate them to real life, not the world that we want to see, not what we've been taught down through the years in civics class 7 years ago. Our fathers brought forth on this continent. Now, I need y'all to deal, because y'all talking about fathers that don't look like me. You're talking about forefathers that don't look like me and didn't consider me to be human. I can't get with that. I need you to talk a talk that relates to me. So as we come into this season now of really starting to understand, we've got to educate. We got to change our mindset. And then number two, I'm going to go back to the video that truck driver sent. Understand, we command $2 trillion with a T in the economy. That's a lot of money. We are not in any way, shape, or form really acknowledging the level of power that we have and conduct in this here country. We have not given it its full validity. We've not given it its full weight. We continue to operate as if we're less than, but we're only less than because we will not come together. That's really the issue. We're only less than because we will not come together. So, and listen, I'm not even beating folk down for that, because that's part of the design and the fabric as well. So I'm not getting ready to go. What was put in the system and what was initiated is working very effectively. Then we've got to come outside of the realm of the way the system is working and create another system. Now that I do believe with all my heart, lock, stock, and barrel. Now, so we understand we command $2 trillion. Did you hear that? 1.8 trillion. $2 trillion. We command that in the black community. We should be able to do whatever we want to do. And I'm going to go back again. We're influencing trends. We're influencing food. We're influencing fashion. We're influencing all of that with our $1.8 trillion. We're influencing everything but our own community. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? We are influencing everything except for our own community. We're influencing everybody else's stuff besides our own community. And I'm like, no, I'm sick of that. I'm sick of this church. I'm sick of this church. I want to see us come, and that's the only way, can we keep it real, that people are going to, in the majority control system, the only way they're going to pay us any attention at all, you're going to have to come up with another economic base. You are going to have to come up with another economic base. They ain't paying you no attention. You understand the words that are coming out? They ain't paying you no attention. No money, no attention. Please believe it. No money, no attention. No businesses, no attention. No vital ownership and equity stake in it. No, they not going to pay you no attention. None, none, none. So we've got to come back and come up with another way to begin to address. Dr. Dady sent this to me. I appreciate you, sis. And I just want to share this. Come on. This sister is talking about, let's continue to talk about how we can come into this place of, oh my goodness, it's frozen up. Let me see if that's okay. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Let me come from another angle. I appreciate her for sharing, because we've got to come to a point where we begin to understand. And that's why, listen, don't peddle me. Don't do it. Don't peddle me. Don't poverty pimp me with religion. You know, and I got to say, the church has been phenomenally used to keep us in a mindset of peddling poverty. I mean, we got some poverty pimps in church that is just like none other. At the end of the day, I want us to come to a place of understanding. Y'all miss me with that poverty. Miss me with it when I get to heaven in one of these old days, and expecting me to continue to embrace the idea that and again, I'm not going into, I'm not trying to go into what y'all call the prosperity teaching and all of that. I'm just trying to talk some straight up truth. Don't get in your mind and do not embrace this concept that, honey, your whole life is intended henceforth, even now and forevermore, to be you in a struggle. Miss me with that struggle mentality. Am I talking to anybody? Your whole entire life and existence is not devoted to a struggle of poverty, barely trying to make it. No. So I want us to come to a point of where we begin to understand, and I'm fishing around trying to get Dr. Dady. I'm trying to get back to that you sent me. I want us to begin to understand without a doubt, you are more than just somebody to be a patsy, to be a provider and a worker and a laborer for. And I heard somebody say, I rebuke struggle. Come on here, T. I rebuke struggle. I rebuke it. Come on, stay lifted. That's my girl. Happy belated birthday to you. This is the lifter of my head. She's the liftress. Come on in here, Stay Lifted 2021. If you're not following Stay Lifted 2021, quit your wicked ways. She gonna bless your whole life. But listen, I want y'all to rebuke this mindset of we're out here to struggle and barely make it. And no. And at this point, if you think you've made it, I need you to reach back. I need you to pay it forward. I need you to come to the reality. Listen, it's the whole village, and we're not free till we're all free. I need you to get this mindset that until we can come to a place and a space where we really begin to see a manifestation as a community, until we begin to see this space and place where our community is able to heal our community. I ain't asking nobody else to heal the black community. I want black folk to heal the black community. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? I want black folk to take the reins and say, we have the power, we have the ability, we have the tenacity, we have the love, we have the ability to walk this thing through until we see healing in the ranks of our people. But we're not going to stay down here. We're not going to stay in this mindset. I said poverty pimping. I'm sick of poverty pimping. Listen, even when I listen to the songs that y'all sing and the stuff that y'all play, just poverty pimping. Baby, listen, I just can't. I posted the other day Even when you start talking about yourself and you are making jokes about yourself, but they're negative, stop it. Don't even do that, because your words have energy and your words have power. I want you to come to a point where you're always about having the concept that I have something to offer. I am somebody. There is greatness in me. I do not have to constantly put myself down. I do not have to constantly crack jokes on myself. I don't have to make the joke in the room before somebody else makes the joke so it doesn't hurt so much. Baby, that word, whether you say it or somebody else says it, whether they make the joke or you make the joke first to try to soften the blow, the energy of that word is already out there. Stop speaking death and stop sending negative energy over your own self. Do you understand the words that are? It's never funny, Ronzi. It's never funny. This is what I want us to start creating, a totally different narrative. We're expected to comply and just fall in line because, spiritual, you just getting really too. Listen. Y'all can talk about yourselves. I don't agree with it, but don't bring that in my space. Don't bring that energy up in my presence. I don't flow like that. I'm not going to run around. I'm not going to gossip. I'm not going to talk. You're not going to get me to run down, and you're surely not going to get me to run down somebody that I don't even know. Do you understand the words that I'm saying? You're not going to get me to run down somebody that, and 9 times out of 10, you don't know them either. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? We've got to heal and build. We've got to heal and bring together. We've got to bind some wounds. We've got to, listen, we're going to have to do some surgeries. You understand? Trauma is real. And that's where I'm going to go, since I can't seem to get Dr. Davies loaded up, and I'll give it to you tomorrow. I just want to tell you, trauma is real. I was going to hold this for another day, but this brother starts talking about trauma in the Black community. And I want us to pay attention to this as well, because listen, there are so many things that are attacking us from so many different angles. I love good grief, because one of the things that they begin to talk about, to some people, poverty pimping is all they know. I got you, Disco Darren. I agree. For some people, that's all they know. But listen, it's on us to educate. It's on us to get the truth out there. It's on us to talk about it. It's on us to bring something different to the table. You understand? So this is where I'm looking and I'm saying we have a work to do. We have something that's really critical that we must get done. So let's do the work. I can't find that one either. It's hiding from me. I know it's in there. But at the end of the day, this is where I want us to take this mindset. And this is what I want to deal with this week. How are we going to actively begin to put some things in motion so that we can make a change? Because you see, all the way back when Sister Soldier said what she said under Phil Donahue, and this is why I can't deal with y'all that be like, well, it's a slow process and change is slow. Y'all done drank some Kool-Aid to the extent of, y'all see when Cornel West was young and Sister Soldier was baby, and how many, some folk don't even know who Phil Donahue is. Some folk don't even know who Phil Donahue is. And we're still waiting for the same crap. We're still waiting. So how long are you going to wait? That's what I want to know. How long are you going to wait? How long do you say wait? Because listen, I heard Martin Luther King when he said all the way back in Birmingham, why we can't wait. And some of us are still running around talking about wait, the wheels of justice and the wheels of this and the babies. Y'all gonna be waiting. Your generation after you's gonna be waiting. Their grandchildren gonna be, listen, all y'all gonna be waiting, dead and gone, and y'all still gonna be waiting. Y'all ain't buying what I'm selling. Y'all still gonna be waiting. But it's on them to understand. We can talk about it, and some folk refuse to understand. And I hear you on that, Disco Darren. This is where I want to say, I want to appeal to people that there are teachers, and then there are people that have the gift of teaching. Okay, now hear what I said. There are teachers, and then there are people that have the gift of teaching. Now, Can we get Dr. Dady Priest to give us some training? Absolutely. But when I start talking about the gift of teaching, it's the same as I talk about Michelle Brownell and her gift of medical in understanding. Some people are actually gifted in that field. We need to find those that are gifted, because everybody can't break something down. I listen to some people talk, and I don't think, my brain's not the fastest, and it gets a little slower the older I get. However, I listen even with the little piece of brain that I do have, that little 3 pounds I do have between my 2 ears, and I listen to some people, and I still don't understand what you just tried to say. So it's not always a matter of the hearers not listening. Are we breaking it down in a way? Are we instructing and sharing it in a concept that's palatable? All preachers can't preach. And I say that from the standpoint, they can have all the dynamics. They can have and stay within all the parameters and But why do I say they can't preach? When the people walk away, they still have no practical application to what that person said. It sounded good. It looked good. It crossed every T and dotted every I, but the preacher can't preach. Now, that from a preacher, and I love preachers. Listen, I'm a preacher's preacher. I love it. I love it. I love it when I find a preacher that's a preacher's preacher. I love it. But a preacher's preacher can break that thing down. A preacher's preacher ain't reading it off of your notes, and I don't have a problem with notes, but there's the innate knowing that has the ability to come and really expound on a thing to where you can really comprehend, almost envision it in your mind, and then take that knowledge and information that's been given to you and walk away and really be able to apply it practically in your life. That's a preacher. Now, and I say the same thing with the teacher. And I tell people all the time, I don't even really consider myself a preacher. I say, listen, I hope that I'm teaching you in a way that you could understand. Come on now. And we won't even talk about the lack of anointing, Ronzi. But at the end of the day, there are people out here that are saying stuff, but they're not anointed to say it, if I use Ronzi's word. And when I say that, I'm not just talking about preachers. I'm talking about when we talk about being able to understand and comprehend and then translate that to our young people. And they need it in more than just throw out something and expect them to catch everything all at once. It is also just like anything else. When they learn about stuff in school, they go over that material and they go over that material and they read through the book and they read through the resources and they do some research. This is the way we need to start approaching, I feel, with our black babies. They need to understand all the dynamics of being black. They need to understand the dynamics of how we are moving from the place of oppression that we have been in all these hundreds of years. And that's for Africans all across the continent. As Sister Soldier said, I don't care if you're out there on the islands. I don't care where you are. Africans have had to fight this fight the whole time. We need to be able to teach and instruct our babies to where they have a full understanding, clarity. I don't need a CRT if you take it out of the classrooms. And at the end of the day, that's a whole nother argument. But if you, in theory, in concept, take it out of the classroom, it doesn't matter, because we're going to teach it in the community. And we're going to teach it just like they learn, just like I had to take American history, just like I had to sit down and learn their version of the story of what happened and how this country came into being, just the same way I had to learn his story. We need to be taking the time, energy, and effort, and we need to be the same way you go through chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, test. Chapter 5, chapter 6, chapter 7, chapter 8, test. Chapter 9, chapter 10, chapter 11, chapter 12, test. We need to do that same thing with our kids. And then at the end, I got a cumulative for you. You got a final at the end. Most of us barely understand black history ourselves, and we're grown up. Most of the folk that are, we out here, we get a nugget here, we get a nugget there, we get a gem here, we get a jewel there. If we really had a serious black history course and we had to take the test, most of the folk in here would flunk. So this is the area that I'm saying, let me go back and read what Darren said. So you're saying they would have needed to walk the talk, needed to walk the talk. Okay, I think I know what you're saying. They would have needed to walk the walk to talk the talk. So I got you. Yes. And I don't know if you're saying having to experience it personally. There's some things I have not experienced personally, but I have studied. And this is what I'll add to that. I've put myself around people that did walk the walk. I do put myself around folks, but I try. Yes, I'm going to walk what I'm talking. Absolutely. I need you to do more than just give me lip service. I need you to do more than just tell me some stories. I need you to do more than just, regurgitating and vomiting on me. No, I need somebody that really understands what's going on. You understand? I need somebody that understands what's going on and break it down to the children, because I'm listening. And there are some in the Gen Z and even some in the Gen X generation. They don't even know they are. I'm talking about black kids, and I'm listening to them. I'm like, and where did you get that from? And who told you X, Y, and Z? And what did you not know? And they don't know. They don't know. And if they don't know, it's because we haven't taught them. It's on us. And so here we have a place of changing the trajectory and saying, no, we're not going to be ignorant of ourselves, which is basically what Sister Soldier was saying. You all are putting all of these programs into place, but these kids still don't know themselves nor from whence they've come. And if you don't know your past, if you don't know your history, yes, you're going to be doomed to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it and repeat and repeat. We've got to educate the children, and we've got to educate ourselves if we're ignorant. We have people teaching, but not people listening because of what we were taught. Come on, DJ, that's a word right there. So much of what we were taught in its error. Hear what I said. There's a whole lot of stuff in its error that we were taught. We continue to perpetuate. We continue to teach and walk and exhibit and manifest that madness that we were taught. Now, I'm not angry because I understand my ancestors taught me based on the knowledge and understanding that they had. But I also understand that my ancestors taught me some stuff that wasn't in the book. You start talking about mother wit. You start talking about intuition. You start talking about many areas that the old folks taught to us from old. We don't even do that. So at the end of the day, they may not have been able to read a book, but they could tell you, I got shoes, you got shoes, all of God's children got shoes. When they get to heaven, gonna put on my shoes and walk all over God's heaven. Everybody talking about heaven, but everybody talking about it surely ain't going there. And look up there at Massa's house. And that was clear to me. Massa talking about heaven. Massa got shoes. Massa. But I'm able to understand by the symbolism and what you didn't say. I'm able to understand and discern. Everybody talking about heaven surely ain't going there. They were teaching us that wisdom. They were teaching us that knowledge, and they may not have been coming out and saying it with certain words, but we understood. The Charons understood what they were talking about. However way we got to get this information to the babies, and however we need to break this thing down and so they can understand, we've got to continue to work to break the curse, because at the end of the day, I am somebody. I am somebody. And it's not just because Jesse Jackson said it with the Rainbow Coalition. I am somebody. Listen, James Brown, say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. We've got to come to a place where we embrace all that we are, including our 2 trillion. I said it, including our 2 trillion. We need to embrace all that we have and make another reality. I believe that with all my heart. Now, y'all, you know how we do it in the Lion's Den. We can walk hand in hand without seeing eye to eye, but I believe y'all can keep, just like Sister Soldier said, y'all can keep on with these weak ST programs that are not really addressing the issue. And however long ago Phil Donahue recorded that till this day, however long that time span was, we'll be in that same time span talking about, but STL said this in 2022, and now it's 2093, and we still still saying it. Y'all, I'm sick of that. Miss me with that. Miss me with that. Miss me with that. Because I've had enough. Somebody's going to have to do something to get off the pot. So at this point, as she said, if you understand, and I'm going to come back, I'm going to keep drilling that $2 trillion. Do y'all see? How many zeros? $2 trillion. As poor and as much as we want to say we don't have, and we've been left out of the game, $2 trillion. We are $2 trillion deep in 2024. Why? Why are we still? Why? Explain it to me, Lucy. Explain it to me, Lucy. Because our minds have been colonized. I'm going to say it like that. Our minds have been colonized. And we are doing just exactly what the colonizers want us to do. Am I talking? Come on. You know how we do it, DJ, you know. Strong and black. Because listen, no cream, no sugar. We take this strong and black. This is where I want us to understand. I need y'all to get rid of your colonized mind. Hello? I need you to get rid of your colonized. I need you to actually begin to do introspection. Don't even go and look at your neighbor, turn to your neighbor and say none of that. I need you to look inside yourself. Where am I colonized? Where is my thinking colonized thinking? Where is my behavior colonized behavior? Y'all ain't buying what I'm selling, but I'm telling what God loves, and that's the truth. The whole truth. And that you need to stop and make an assessment within yourself and say any area of colonization that I'm still holding on to, I need to do what did Frozen say? Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Now, I didn't, for whatever reason, I cannot queue up my two that I had for today, but that's okay. I'll bring them back tomorrow. Because I want us to come into a mindset where we really understand until we rise up. I like that in Woman King. If we're, I don't want to give, I want to give anything away for anybody that hasn't seen it, but I can say there's a song at the very end of the movie that says rise up. Until we rise up, we're going to keep having this same conversation. Sister Soldier, everything that she said is going to continue to be true until we rise up. And when I say that, I'm not talking about militancy. That's what I'm not, it's not, but it's going to feel militant to those that are colonizing us. It's going to feel militant in that regard. But I'm not talking about taking up weapons. I'm not talking about going out killing up. Listen, ain't no negativity over here. Everything we do in the Lion's Den is from a place of love. But I do want us to understand let's love our children enough to educate them. Can we do that? Let's love our children enough. I say, let's make our own curriculum. Let's make our own. Just the same. I have so much mad respect for the Jewish community. I have mad respect, have dear friends, love them. I watch, I marvel the way that they educate their young, the way that they take Sabbath school, the way that they listen, I don't care what's going on out here in the world around you. At the end of the day, you're going to understand and you will be educated in our history and our tradition and everything that we've gone through all the way from the Bible to the present. I love that. Why are we not doing that? Why are we not doing that? Listen, we've had the knowledge, we've had the understanding, we've had the creativity, we've gone to a place of all types of things that we've done and contributed to society from the beginning of time to the present. Why do we not take that energy? Why do we not take that boss energy? Why do we not empower ourselves and empower our communities and empower our children? Why do we not do this listen, this is how we do it. Get these babies. Y'all letting these babies do anything under the sun. That's fine and good, but don't let them do anything under the sun with nothing in their brain, and especially nothing in their brain that knows and understands their history. Where they've come from, what accomplishments Black people have done in the world, not just in this country, but in the world. They should be walking like princes and princesses with back straight, head erect. They should be walking with the royalty that they are. Why are they not? We ain't teaching it. We're not teaching that. And my sisters and I, and I'm out of here because it's 9 o'clock. My sisters and I have started saying, our ancestors are pleased. When we finished with our gathering on this week and we shared with each other, no family squabbles, no clowning, no acting out, no this, that, and the other. And at the end of it all, our ancestors are pleased. Our ancestors are pleased. We want to do this in a way. We want to carry ourselves in a way. We want to act in a way, which means we're constantly progressive. We're constantly moving forward. We're constantly loving each other. We're constantly there for each other. We're constantly building a new reality, even if it's a brand new reality at 60 and 60 plus. But at the end of the day, that assessment, the ancestors are pleased, which means the children and the children's children and the greats, baby, you best believe everybody is getting the education. Everybody is getting the genealogy told. Everybody, and your grandfather and your grandmother on your mother's side, and your grandfather and your grandmother on your mother's side. Everybody. And your people did this, and your people did that. Because listen, they're going to be solid on history. They're going to be solid on who they are. And hopefully when I close my eyes, they'll be able to look at each other and tell one another, our ancestors are pleased. Do y'all understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Our ancestors are pleased. You understand that? Have you ever noticed that with all the marching, singing, etc., taking nothing away from MLK, Malcolm, and all the other civil rights leaders have done? Some people only understand violence. Once they see that, then they understand that we're fed up. I hear you on that. And you know what? I'm going to say, I'm not going to challenge those that feel that that's the road to take. I just personally feel that violence is never the answer. That's me. Now, mind you, I got folks around me that's fully armed. So I don't argue with them. I don't, they feel like, hey, you ain't going down with the shit. We gonna protect you, whatever the case may be. I do not personally advocate violence, but I do understand, even as Malcolm X's original positions were, but he did change by the time of his death in his position. But as we understand chickens coming home to roost, and you understand this right here, and I'm not going to turn the other cheek. I get that, Disco Darren. It's just not something that I purport to. It's not something that I push and promote, because I just think violence never produces the outcome that you want, and somebody's going to get injured. And I'm really an advocate that nobody really we need to figure out another way. We need to figure out another way, in my opinion. If we're talking about we're civilized and we've come into a place where we're progressive, then I just feel like we need to figure out another way. That's my opinion. So, but I do understand exactly what you're saying, that sometimes that's the only thing they understand. But I'm going to say this and I'm going to get out. Come on. I see Snatchmaster Jazz done came into the Lion's Den. So much love to you. So much love to you. And welcome to the chat. It's good to have you here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Spirit Master Jazz. I appreciate you. I will say this, Disco Darren, because some of the white supremacists on Trump's side are angry with him because he wasn't violent enough in his rhetoric, in his acceptance speech. I don't advocate. To me, that level of extremism is what gets everybody shot up and killed. And it doesn't work, in my opinion. And I feel like it's been the tool that we've used down through the years. I got you. Once they start seeing their own hanging from the trees or swinging from the trees, they'll understand. But no, they won't, because they're still going to feel like they were entitled. and that you did something against them that you had no right to do, even though they did it to yours and your people. So when, to me, you get to that level and that extreme, that to me is where you start opening up the opportunity for what I call mental illness. When you start developing hatred at that level, that you can treat somebody like an animal. I wouldn't hang a dog from a tree. You understand the words? I wouldn't hang a dog from a tree. I wouldn't hang a cat. I wouldn't hang a bird. I wouldn't hang any animal from a tree and watch it swinging and bring my kids, have a picnic, sit down and eat, talk, laugh, and take pictures of somebody hanging from it, or of animal hanging from a tree. I'm sure they're not going to do it to a human being. So, you know, I'm at the point where it's like evil and violence begets violence. And so at that point, you just gonna, you know, if an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth leaves everybody blind and toothless, in my opinion, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth is gonna leave everybody blind and toothless. There has to be another way where we're not damaging and destroying people. And I believe that it can be done through love. I believe that love has the power to do it. And so I understand that violent energy, that energy has built up. Oh man, I really wish I had, Lord, if I could only find this one, cause I'm gonna take some time right here, even though I know I'm past 9 o'clock, but I appreciate your dialogue right here, Disco Darren, because this is some real conversation that I feel like we need to have within the Black community as well. And all communities, but I'm talking to the community that I'm a part of, which is the Black community. I feel like this is a conversation that we need to have. And when you start talking about trauma, when you start talking about people being wounded, and excuse me while I'm scrolling through here trying to see where on earth did I put this, where did I put this at? But I do, here we go. Thank you, Holy Ghost. So I want us to take a look at this, because trauma, we also have to identify people are traumatized and acting out of their trauma. And some way, somehow, we got to stop that. So we learned violence from the colonizers, exactly, New York cheesecake, because that wasn't tribal community in Africa was not violent. And even though it wants to be depicted as such, but at the end of the day, that's something that we picked up from colonizers. I'm going to share this, and I want you to just listen to it if you would. And this to me kind of speaks to where you're addressing right here. And listen to this, and let's just process what this brother's saying.
During my era, were deceived into living what is called the thug life. But it wasn't until recently that I created an acronym for it, because I understand now truly what a thug was. A thug is a traumatized human unable to grieve. A person who wears trauma like it's a badge of honor. And then we wonder why we're so quick to lose it at the slightest offense. When you walk around with your threshold for tolerance here, as soon as anything happens, you're going to snap. It doesn't mean that you're real. It just means that you haven't allowed your heart to purge all the pain that you feel. Although trauma is something that we all will experience, we have to stop acting like trauma is just a part of the Black experience. So many men during my era were deceived into living what is called the thug life. But it wasn't until recently that I created an acronym for it, because I understand now truly what a thug was. A thug is a traumatized human unable to grieve. A person who wears trauma like it's a badge of honor. And then we wonder why we're so quick to lose it at the slightest offense. When you walk around with your threshold for tolerance here, as soon as anything happens, you're going to snap. It doesn't mean that you're real. It just means that you haven't allowed your heart to purge all the pain that you feel. Although trauma is something that we all will experience, we have to stop acting like trauma is just a part of the Black experience.
One more time for the people in the back.
So many men during my era were deceived into living what is called the thug life. But it wasn't until recently that I create an acronym for it, because I understand now truly what a thug was. A thug is a traumatized human unable to grieve. A person who wears trauma like it's a badge of honor. And then we wonder why we're so quick to lose it at the slightest offense. When you walk around with your threshold for tolerance here, as soon as anything happens, you're going to snap. It doesn't mean that you're real. It just means that you haven't allowed your heart to purge all the pain that you feel. Although trauma is something that we all will experience, we have to stop acting like trauma is just a part of the Black experience.
And there, we're going to leave it there. But please, this. And this is what I've chosen to talk about this week, because I feel like so much of what he said right there. Traumatized humans unable to grieve. Traumatized humans unable to grieve. So when who said this, that we got violence from our colonizers, New York cheesecake. We learned that in our trauma. And to want to, in my opinion, rely on that as a means of retaliation, to rely on that as a means of trying to make right what's wrong. To me, you're talking about thug life, traumatized humans unable to grieve. And you're trying to use that trauma that you've not been able to grieve and act it out in a way that's going to try to get a different outcome. And the outcome that you're going to get is thug life. A bunch of people going to be dead. A bunch of people going to be hanging from trees. A bunch of people going to be, and so at the end of the day, I challenge us, particularly as Black people, to choose another path and to choose another road. Operating out of trauma is not healthy. In my opinion, when you start wanting to become violent, that's an unhealthy choice, in my opinion. Y'all don't have to agree with me, but I feel like if you can't find another way to address and deal with what's going on, when folks got to start laying hands, when folks got to start shooting their folk, when folks got folks hanging from the tree, swinging from the tree, I feel like that's a trauma response. I'm not there. I'm not there. We've lived in trauma long enough. Let's create a different reality. We have lived in and through trauma long enough. Let's create a different reality is my response to that. And I do feel, and I believe with all my heart, that love has the ability to create a different reality. And I'm going to say that once more and again. Love has the ability to create a different reality. And once more and again, for whoever's in the back that may not have heard it, love has the ability to create a different reality. Well, I feel for my brothers and I feel for my sisters. This has been another edition of Yes You O Cube. What does O Cube stand for? One-on-one, because it's just me and you. I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and I'm so glad that you joined me on this fine day. Yes, this week, beloved, we're going to be talking about thug life. Traumatized humans unable to grieve. Traumatized humans unable to grieve. That creates thug life. And so sometimes we can be in the highest level of heights, in the lowest levels of depths, and we're all operating in thug life because you got traumatized humans unable to grieve at the highest echelon and the lowest. Same. Ain't no difference. Now, this is Yes You O Cubed, and we are in the Lion's Den, and you know how we do it over here. I appreciate, listen, DJ, you know I appreciate you. So much love coming to you, and to everybody that's in the Lion's Den on today. Listen, I'm out there, y'all. I'm out there, and I am happy to share a different reality and a different perspective. And even if you don't agree, as I so often say, we can walk hand in hand without seeing eye to eye. So you don't have to agree with me. I'm just throwing some seeds out there. I'm throwing some ideas. I'm giving you another way and another perspective to look at it. Hopefully, it'll resonate and make you at least stop and scratch your head and say, and think about it. If you don't do anything else, but just think about it. Listen, I'm out there, y'all. I'm out there. I'm everywhere, and you can follow me. Follow me, y'all. I'm trying to find myself. Y'all can follow me out here anywhere. There we go. Let me come on up. Move on up a little high. Follow me out there on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, Discord, Anchor, Discord, and more. I'm out there, y'all. I'm out there. Listen, our mantra is always, I don't have a spirit of fear. I don't have a spirit of intimidation. I have a sound mind. With that in my toe, and with that, the way I operate in love, I am all powerful in love. That's the way I roll. DJ Varmar, so much love to you as we're getting up out of here, my brother. Thank you for being here today. Listen, we don't just talk about change, but we understand we are the change. We are the change that we want to see. And as I said, we're not dealing in thug life anymore. Please believe it. We're not operating in thug life anymore. We are no longer going to operate as traumatized humans unable to grieve. That ain't us no more. Listen, we're going to be that change, manifest that change, walk that change, talk that change, because we're going to show them who you are, T'Challa. And that being said, you're not alone. It's us, you, me, we all, because this Pride Alliance, we're relentless, and you're going to hear us roar. Listen, it's not just the den of iniquity, it's the den of activity. There's so much good, healthy activity and conversation going on in here, y'all. Thank you for your line support. To my moderators, the Rebel Inc., Michelle Brownell, Shelly Thunder. Those are my girls. That's my blessed trinity. Love me some of them. To all those that followed today, Midfield 12, thank you for following. For those subscribers and resubs, BTD Mom, DJ, New York Cheesecake, and One Reason. Thank you for that. And we're building something fairly all day. Thank you for those gifted subs. I appreciate you, my dearest friend. Listen, you know how we do it over here, and we know what you tell you. Listen, I want you to have peace for your journey. Do what you love what you do, and we'll see you back tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Copy that raid message, because we're going to go over and share love in somebody else's space and place. Thank you to every streamer that was here on today. I appreciate every one of y'all. My apologies for failing to get your links down in that chat, but we want to follow you, and we appreciate you. Follow, copy that raid message. Come on, go with us. We will do you good.